Hello guys, today we're gonna do a drawing demonstration. It's gonna be a charcoal drawing, as you can see, and it's a portrait face. I ran out of canvases with this pandemic. I haven't been able to go get some supplies for me to paint, but I'll be doing some drawings. Hopefully all this passes quickly. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what my approach is and my ideas on how to draw a human face. I made a time-lapse video so you can see the process and we can get to the end quickly. Basically there is nothing fancy here on the start. As you can see, I start with a very basic shapes. I do the beginning. We miss a little bit of the beginning, but I do a big shape, big idea of the form of the face that I'm doing, and then I go from there. I think it's easier to judge if you have a big shape and then you start modeling it. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's a very basic start, comparing the shapes and the forms and the volumes. That's basically what it is. I don't do right now in my stage, my career. I'm not doing any measuring. I think to me right now it's a waste of time. At the beginning, when I was art student, I did use measuring. I did, because at the beginning you gotta learn somehow, which is good. Have nothing against to measuring. It helps you, to get a more accurate drawing. Even though drawings are never meant to be, a perfect, exact replica of the figure that you are doing. You also got to put a little bit of you into the drawing. So that's basically what I do. I'm not either, never try to do, like a photo with details of every hair or any of that. I always love to work loose and try to do it on my own, on my way. The art is not meant to be a photography. That's what cameras are for. Also, I don't like to spend a lot of times doing a drawing or a painting. This has to do with the way that the Impressionist painters did it back in the days. I love how they did it. So I try to do my thing based on those principles. I also love the way that the light affect all the when you have a really strong light source, how it affect the the forms and the objects. I think it's lovely how the light works. I always love how to do things that have big contrast. between dark and light. I think it's amazing. So this is basically a 45 to an hour minute drawing. As I mentioned, I don't try to do a perfect replica, or like I have seen guys that like to do a super realistic drawing or painting. I mean, I have nothing against that. I think is a nice way to do it. If you want to do it that way, it's up to you. But I think art is something else. Don't need to be a photography. So right here, you want to make sure you have the all the features of the face in place. As you can see, we have already established all our relationships, and right now I'll start to work on a little bit of the details, the midtones, the correcting the shapes if I have to, and so on. So once you have the relationship of the big shapes, you start doing the forms within the form. That's how you do it. I mean, that's how I do it, and has worked for me. Also, one important thing that you have to have in mind is how do you want your drawing to look like at the end, but right from the start. You gotta think, you gotta say, okay, this is how my drawing I want to look like. And then you work on that and you try to do it how you imagine it. So I'm not worried here about the neck or the shoulders. It's just gonna be a face. And then the rest is complementary. Also the hair. The hair is an insinuation of the hair. You don't have to do hair by hair. I mean, it's richer if you try to do it more abstract than it really is. And you will find that things are more abstract than you think they are. Once you learn that, you will get a really nice improvement. Also, it don't really matter how you do your values. You can do lines. I also love how to do like cross hatching drawings. That's how we learn at the beginning. And now lately I've been doing more charcoal drawings, which you can play a lot more with. I mean, you can do fixing better than other kind of drawing. If you have to do, to fix some shapes or values. I used to have a teacher that he didn't want us to use an eraser. So if you had something wrong, you had to start from the beginning and throw that paper. It was funny, but it'll help me a lot. On trying to getting it right from the beginning, and also do the measurements by eye. So here is we are close to the end. You can see how this is very quick drawing, nothing fancy, just some values there, and really to study how the light was hitting his face in this particular moment. That's what you want to go for, to capture those moments. And again, you don't need to do an exact replica or a photograph of the model. I also will. It depends what you are doing, but the likeness is important to me. I know that for some other artists, if you are doing a study or something, the likeness is not the main thing. But for me, I like to have both likeness and proportions. So I always like to whatever I'm drawing that looks like the model. I mean, I have that. It's not like I can get that very easy. And it will come. I think the likeness will come to you by itself. Once you do a lot of drawings, you will see that if you follow your steps and all that, the proportions and shapes, the likeness will come by itself. That's how I've been doing it over the years, and I always have had good likeness on my drawings. Guys, I hope this was a very helpful drawing demonstration. If you have any question, please don't hesitate. I'm here to help. If you have any questions or anything, you can ask. And pardon for my English, that is not perfect. I am most an Hispanic talker. So if there is someone Hispanic there, you can also write me in Spanish. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. This is the final result.